There's a reason your cousin who bought in Florida during the boom has gone suspiciously quiet. Somewhere between the well running dry and the price reduced sign going up twice in one summer, the math stopped working. This video is about 12 Florida towns where the water is physically disappearing and the home prices are collapsing right alongside it. Not from a hurricane, not from one bad storm season. This is slower and stranger than that. We are talking about aquifers hitting record lows under neighborhoods that were bidding war territory 2 years ago. We are talking about a spring that vanished so completely, it's now just a field. We are talking about canals in the waterfront capital of America, running low enough to expose the mud. And we are talking about towns where the same shrinking hole in the ground supplies both your drinking water and your sprinklers. Subscribe now because nobody selling you a Florida house is going to volunteer this list. Let's count it down. But first, 60 seconds of context, because none of this makes sense without it. For a decade, Florida was the promised land. Retirees, remote workers, tax refugees, all pointing moving trucks at the Gulf Coast, and prices went vertical. Then the ground started sending warning signs. By 2026, most of the state had slipped into severe drought, with some regions logging their driest stretch in over a decade. Water districts responded the way they rarely do. Mandatory once-a-week lawn watering across more than a dozen counties. Stack that on top of home insurance bills that are now the highest in the country, a post-Surfside condo law forcing owners into 5- and 6-figure special assessments, and a housing market that finally ran out of buyers willing to pay pandemic prices. Drought below, insurance and assessments above. That's the trap. Here are the 12 towns caught inside it. Number 12. Port St. Lucie. Downstream from Lake Okeechobee, this stretch of the Treasure Coast gets hit with toxic algae discharges whenever the lake gets too full, turning the waterfront a fluorescent, dumpster-scented green for weeks at a time. Meanwhile, the median home price has cooled into the low 400,000s. Selling waterfront paradise is a tough pitch when the water occasionally glows. Number 11. Spring Hill. Welcome to Sinkhole Alley. This stretch of Pasco and Hernando counties produces the majority of Florida's confirmed sinkholes, and here's the twist. Drought makes it worse, not better. Pull water from underground limestone caverns and the roof loses its support. Add a citywide watering restriction stressing the exact ground it's supposed to protect, and you've got a housing market where a driveway can just leave. Number 10. Venice. Famous for fossilized shark teeth on the beach, and in recent winters, famous for red tide advisories up and down the coast, stinging eyes and dead fish included. Monthly price swings have looked brutal, though the smoother year-over-year trend is a real but milder single-digit decline. Still, a beach town whose air quality has an asterisk 2 months a year is a hard sell. Number 9. Ocala. Horse country and home to Silver Springs, once so clear that Hollywood filmed underwater scenes in it. That flow has dropped by roughly a third to a half since the 1930s, and the cause isn't mysterious. It's the aquifer pumping that feeds it. One national analysis recently found Ocala posted the steepest drop in house-flipping profit margins of any market in America. When the flippers vanish, that's the canary. If you're enjoying the slow-motion reckoning, tap like. It helps this reach the next person about to overpay for a Florida house. Number 8. Lehigh Acres. An endless grid of streets built for the boom, chasing affordable Florida living. Now under the same drought pressure as the rest of Southwest Florida, the median price has slid toward the low $300,000, homes lingering on market nearly 3 months. The entire pitch was buy now before it's gone. Now it's buyers waiting it out. Number 7. Lakeland. This is where drying up stops being a metaphor. Kissingen Springs, once a beloved swimming hole in Polk County, was drained by decades of groundwater pumping until it simply stopped flowing. It's a grass field today. You can go stand where it used to be. Lakeland's housing market has softened right alongside it, with most active listings already wearing a price cut. Number 6. Tampa. One of the hottest markets in America during the boom, and now one of the clearest examples of the cool down. Home values down sharply in a single year, with more than half of active listings price reduced. Sitting on the edge of Sinkhole Alley and inside the mandatory watering order, Tampa is the biggest population center on this list, watching the boom deflate in real time. We're past the halfway point, and this is where the water story and the money story stop running in parallel and collide. If you've made it this far, go ahead and subscribe now. Number 5, North Port, home to Florida's only natural warm spring, and in one national study, the single steepest home price decline of any city in the entire United States. Tourists driving in for the healing waters while residents drive out over the price chart, both happening at once. Number 4, Punta Gorda, still recovering from a direct hurricane hit, and now recording one of the largest median home value losses of any market in the state. Tens of thousands of dollars erased from the typical home in a single year, with unsold inventory piling up faster than sellers can plant new signs. Number 3, Naples. On paper, the most dramatic collapse on this list, a jaw-dropping year-over-year median price drop. But the honest version, a chunk of that comes from fewer ultra-luxury mansion sales closing, dragging the median down even if a typical 3-bedroom didn't lose nearly that much. The smoother measures show a real but far gentler decline. Still, red tide advisories shut down Naples beaches for stretches of its prime season, cooling the luxury market from the top down. Number 2, Fort Myers. A metro-wide price drop that was, in one recent quarter, the single biggest year-over-year decline of any large metro in the entire country. Not just Florida, the country. Sitting on a river chronically fed by Lake Okeechobee discharges, it fights recurring algae blooms and red tide at the same time its price chart is doing the worst in America. If it's this bad at number 2, you can guess where number 1 is going. Number 1, Cape Coral. More canal mileage than Venice, Italy, the city whose entire identity is water. In 2025, the aquifer many residents tap for irrigation hit a record low and wells started coughing up air. Here's the line that separates Cape Coral from everyone else on this list. For many residents, the water in the lawn sprinkler and the water in the kitchen tap come from the exact same shrinking source. Home prices have slid alongside it. Cape Coral is this entire video compressed into a single zip code. So there it is, 12 towns where the ground is drying out and the prices are cooling at the same time. Before you panic sell and move to a cornfield, no Florida town's kitchen taps are running dry. And these price drops are corrections, not crashes, after years of 70–90% run-ups. But the pattern underneath is what matters. Florida grew faster than its water, its insurance market, and its infrastructure could handle, and the bill is coming due. These 12 towns are just feeling it first. If you're still dreaming of a Florida move, do the boring homework. Ask where the water actually comes from. Ask the real insurance number. Ask about condo reserves before you fall for the view. Subscribe because this channel breaks down America's best and worst places to live every week. And next time, it might be your town on the screen.